Hello everyone, and today we're going to be doing some Craig testing. Yes, I've hyped the main goblin up enough, and I'm going to do some tests and even showcase some PvP footage of the main man and see what these reports turn out from our tests. So let's get into today's video. Hello everyone, yes, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, the one and only. We're here back on Call of Dragons and I'm doing some more T4 testing as always with the Craig boy, right? So we're going to be testing Craig today, and the way we're going to be doing it is pretty simple. If you've not checked out a prior video on testing, the way we do it is simple. We have a T5 infantry march. That's going to be obviously our target dummy. We're going to be dealing so much damage within a minute and about 15 seconds of all the reports, just to see how much we can get as a baseline on this march. And then afterwards, I am going to be doing a little bit of gameplay side, right, showcasing me using Craig in a variety of marches on, PvP, just to showcase the difference between a 1v1 and the gameplay results, right? So the marches we are going to be doing is going to be Craig is involved with every hero here. So this is going to be a primary Syndron with Canara, Magra, and then the sad thing is I want to do some Indis and Nico testing, but obviously these two heroes are lower level as you can see, so just to try and make it as fair as possible, I will be using the Kregg, right? So the talent pages I'm going to be using in this is pretty simple. This is the one I'm running for Craig right now. And this is actually one page, I think, if you're going to run Craig, this is the one you're going to be running majority of the time, just to take advantage of that harvest, which is better in PvP over the 1v1 tests, right? But if we look at everyone else, we do have our Syndron talent page here just to showcase it for you. Then we have the Canara talent page, again, just to showcase that one for you. And then finally, the Magra page, right? So these are all the talent pages that I'm going to be running in all of these tests, and to make it as fair as possible, what I'm going to do and make it as reliable is only use the Shadow Blades. So this is one artifact everyone is going to be able to get access to, and at literally maximum stats, right? So you know, no matter what, every march is going to basically get the same amount of benefits from it. It's not going to give you anything crazy on the additional, and obviously we're not going to be casting this artifact, right? On top of this, on all of these tests, I will be making sure no pet is equipped. So there's no pets equipped, but we do have the Shadow Blades equipped against the T5, and that's pretty much it. So let's get into the first round of testing with Craig, and hopefully you guys enjoy these style of videos. Welcome to the very first test, and this is going to be just to showcase it off before we go into every other single one, the march we're going to go in against, and obviously weaves, like last time in the previous test, we've kept the same one. We've got T5 infantry, 200,000 march. You can see the Madeline and the Garwood skills there, so you've just got a nice base, right? We've got a target dummy. This isn't anything crazy in a 1v1. We just want to see how well this match can do, right? So when we go into the gameplay side now of this test, you're going to see obviously Syndron firing away, and this is actually a very surprising match, because I am going to be using this one as well in the gameplay side of things, and you can see actually it does some decent obviously damage. But when you get that Craig, look how much damage that's doing, 400 bleed for those 3 ticks, and that is quite a lot of bleed damage, right? Especially if this is AoE, and you can imagine it hitting other units now, on top of potentially that big bomb detonating, right? Giving you an extra 600 damage. So the beautiful thing is we're going to just go back and then fast forward this into now the report. So you can see here our first report, and I am going to go back in game after showcasing all of these for you. But you can see here the Craig, right? We've got 2.9k save wounds to the 7.7 dealt, which is the very first march, right? So this is going to be Syndron Syndron and Craig, the one and only. Obviously, we do too much Syndron Freygar videos for everyone to know about. So let's go into the next one, right? So the next testing video we've got here is going to be the Canara, right? We've got Canara here with our Craig. We're just waiting for Droopy here just to refresh his march, so he does his thing just to showcase it off. Like, look, This is going to be another 200k match versus 200k match, right? To keep it as equal as possible. You can see again, Shadow Blades in the top. So we've got the same artifact, but no pets equipped. And this match is obviously what I can imagine, and you should imagine, right? It would perform in theory as well as the Syron and Craig will, because you got to think Syron and Craig is more DPS heavy, right? But Canara is all about defensiveness, and you can see, look, she is doing a good job so far at taking damage, right? So if we fast forward this again to get to the nasty report, here we go. 3.5k, which is actually a surprise, right? And the thing is, obviously, Syron is a little bit better, right? He is 5.355 compared to my 5.421 on my Canara, but you're reducing the damage dealt by 15%, so you would assume that would help this match quite a lot when it comes into things. Maybe when obviously Canara gets a little bit leveled up, maybe if it's a 5.5.1, this is going to maybe change the reports quite that drastically, right? Which is really good again for me. I learn a little bit more about my Canara and my Craig setup. Maybe it's not the matchup I need right now and need to level up that Canara's skills, right? So this is obviously the second one. I hope you guys are enjoying these tests of what we've been doing so far, you know, on the down low while we've been waiting for some action here. And the third test we've got is Magra, and this one is going to be a very interesting one because I will give you a little spoiler when it comes to the gameplay side and we're looking at the actual gameplay reports. I'm just saying, this is very, very scary on how well Magra and Craig does. And I don't know if it's just because obviously how strong Magra is. I don't know if it's because of the Magra healing from her variable healing. Plus, as you guys know, I do have that 1 point in dedication, but imagine with 5 points, it does give you that sustainability to keep up higher damage because you have that higher troop count in the game, right? So we can see this punching through, as you can imagine, the T5 actually taking a decent, as you can imagine, a decent amount of damage from here, which is very, very good to find out. So if we fast forward this, like always, get into the report now, 3.4, look at that. 3.4k 7 wounds. We've done 8.8 compared to them, so good amount of damage still, right? And we've healed over 4.2k worth of troops. So that just showcases a little bit of the sustain. Is it worth it? Who knows? But I am healing almost more than the obviously tank kind of were right then. But you got to remember, the tank wasn't obviously hitting me, so it wasn't triggering really any of its talents back, apart from the counter rage generated. So this was obviously a very intriguing bit of footage for me, right? Because for me, Magra and Craig, everyone keeps boasting and laughing about this match, saying this isn't going to be a match that you should be able to use, but surprisingly, it's going to be something that shocked quite a lot of you, right? So here what we've got is Craig Nico. So this is kind of giving you guys more of a Season 1 match in case you're going to use this for like a Season 1 meta. And I'm not going to lie, see, this was doing a decent job. I'm not going to lie. I thought this wasn't going to do as good as it did. But you got to think, with that defense break, you can see the bleed, the last couple of bleeds on there, go from like the 400 damage they were dealing up to about 440, 430 damage. So it is nice to get that extra little bit of steroid from that physical break of Nico, right? So you can imagine if both heroes are awakened, this could be maybe, again, something very, very scary with the amount of damage and skill damage mainly it's popping out. Because you can see it burning through that shield quite happily and doing some nice damage afterwards to the healing. So if we fast forward this into the report now, 3.1k. Really good report. It's actually, as you can see, taken the least, second least, should we say, to the Syron, right, on 7 wounds. And it's done 7.5k. So this is actually a really good match. Who would have thought, right? For a Season 1 hero combination. Maybe you just run out of heroes in the season and you just need to put 2 guys together why not try a Nico Craig match? You might be surprised on that report, right? And the final test, and this is the one test that I really enjoyed doing, because it was more of a support match, right? So this wasn't intended to deal that much damage, and I thought it wasn't going to deal that much damage, and you can imagine it really isn't doing that much damage. But the point of this match, Craig Indis, or if you're going to do Indis and Craig for any argument's sake, is if you're going to bring a support match. And this does a great infirm trigger. It also applies bleed, so it's stopping technically a bit of healing on top. And you can imagine in the future, maybe you bring a Heart of Kamase and you apply it onto this match specifically, because that would mean it's actually debuffing the enemy, it's putting bleeds on, and it's buffing now your other archer units with that normal attack focus buff. So I thought it was a really interesting one to check out, and I thought I couldn't obviously do one test without my girl Indis involved. So when we go into this report, look at that, 3,000 on the Sev wounds, which is really good. It's the now second best performing in the Sev wound department, right? As well as only doing 6.4k damage, which to be honest isn't that bad, right? It's not that bad. It's only 1,000 behind the ones we've just seen, or maybe 1,500 at tops in the damage, which I think for a support match is really good. So when we come into the main game now, right, we're going to be looking at some of these reports. And if you've not checked it out, I might put up a little info card, if I can remember, at the top right corner of my live stream I did a couple, maybe, last night if you're watching this, a couple of nights ago if you're watching it a couple of days from now. But we were fighting in that live stream, and in that specific live stream, I was testing Craig, and you can obviously go back through and watch all of that if you want. And when it comes to a lot of these reports, the two actual matches that did the best, and I'm sad that because of all these extra reports here disappeared, but you will be able to see them on. The two best performing ones was the Syron and Craig, and actually Magra and Craig. These two matches out of all of my other matches was able to hit around 9,500 or up to 9.8k merits, which was really good if you're looking at this type of, report and you're looking at these really bad Sev wounds at the top and stuff. You're like, bro, why are you taking so much damage? You got to remember, if we click on any of these matches right now, they're going to be most likely T5, right? All of these are most likely going to be T5. There's a T5 archer there. We go to this next one. It's another T5 archer here. We've got another T5 mage. So everyone we're basically hitting in here is T5, right? Because it's BDO, and this is kind of what we expect fighting against them. But I thought that was really good, right? I'm fighting against T5 players, somehow hitting about 10k merits with this match, which has a epic hero and Magra, which isn't really skilled. She's only 531. So it's very promising that you have a area of effect archer hero in the game that you can obviously take advantage of, right? So this is kind of a little bit of, the summary now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the, the video on testing him, showcasing those reports on how well he's been doing with all the different types of, matchups, which is Syron, your Canara, your Magra, the Nico, and the Indis, right? I didn't specifically do Freyga, and if you're wondering why I didn't do Freyga, it's because personally I see Freyga not the type of champion you want to put with that Craig, and on top of it, I feel like Freyga is specifically made for that Syron, or maybe as well as for the Canara, but that's probably it. So that's why I kind of left her out, because it didn't make sense to me to test her, right? But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That's been the Craig test. Let me know in the comments below what you think about him so far. Obviously, I'm going to be doing way more gameplay footage with him in the future, because at the moment, obviously, there's not enough attention to this guy, because honestly, he is a really good commander in PvP, especially with the choke points and especially with everyone fighting in big, large groups. You're gonna get a great amount of area of effect damage, plus all of that normal attack damage from an archer, and he's in an epic based hero. So if you've enjoyed it, smash that comment and subscribe, guys, and until the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.